The question for us today, can Liz Truss be ousted as Prime Minister of England? I am Earth Faith. The name of this program is Mr. Speaker, yet I speak for myself. How do you like that? Well, the answer to the question, yes, Liz Truss seems to be on her way out, but most people don't really understand, the reason why her government collapsed so fast. Most people in London will tell you it has something to do with this mini budget that she put into place that turned into a disaster, calling on the government had to literally bring in the troops to rescue the British economy just in the last few days as King Charles was getting ready to be placed on the throne, and Liz Truss, a long ago opponent of monarchy when Prince Charles' mother, Queen Elizabeth, was reigning, Liz Truss led a protest movement to overthrow the monarchy itself. At that time, she was a liberal. Now she calls herself a conservative, and her latest shenanigans, she had planned to move the British embassy in Jerusalem to Jerusalem from Tel Aviv, which is exactly how Donald Trump started his Middle Eastern war. In other words, Liz Truss was planning a war in the Middle East in Jerusalem. Now, here's the problem. We already had that war just in the last 5 years during the Trump presidency here in America, and it was a disaster. Of course, war is always a disaster, and Middle Eastern war is a great disaster for everyone. My heritage is from India. I'm not even from the Middle East, but King Charles is a friend of many Middle Eastern countries. Now, the United States is threatening Saudi Arabia as we speak, but the whole program to restart a Middle Eastern war collapsed because Liz Truss of London, who's going to precipitate that war by moving the British embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, that is not going to happen by all accounts right now. Now, things can change. It's a fast-moving situation. But the British economy cannot support a war, and Liz Truss really doesn't have the popularity to hold on to office. There are already people calling for her to resign in the Conservative Party. On top of that, she lost a lot of friends of a different color, I would say is the answer. Right there in London where she might live, it might be, she made some enemies by talking about Middle Eastern war. Now, the context of all this is a worldwide peace movement. There are war crimes tribunals in the nature of genocide impacting many countries, including Vietnam, Cambodia, here near the Mexican border, and of course Israel and Palestine. All around the world, there are many, many countries implicated in genocide trials, crimes against humanity that the United Nations is sponsoring, including genocide by the state of Israel in these Palestinian wars. Now, without casting any further blame on anyone, what I would tell you is that the overwhelming movement in these situations, particularly in Israel, is towards towards the peace process, which is ongoing, the Oslo peace process. And many, many people, millions of people around the world have been approached, about, what would it take for you to be happy? I myself have been approached as a potential war crimes victim, and they just wanted to know, what does it take to make you happy? In the United States, a lot of African Americans are asking for reparations for slavery. That has been going on since the Civil War in the mid-1800s. But many, many people are being heard, their voices are being heard, and their needs are being met when the government feels that they can accommodate those requests. This aggressive movement by Liz Truss to threaten a Middle Eastern war when she hardly had a hold on power, it was a misreading perhaps even of the Italian elections, which went fascist, Remember, London has two natural adversaries. I wouldn't say enemies, but adversaries. And one of them is Germany, which was the site of Nazism, the center of this, uh, uh, even the fascism that took place in France and Italy. This is centered by the Nazi movement in Germany in the mid 1900s. Now, the other natural adversary of London is Rome, Italy, because they have a different reading of the Bible between the Catholic Church and the Episcopalian Church, the Church of England. They have a different Bible altogether, and these are natural adversaries. And Liz Truss may be hoping to piggyback on the fascist popularity uh, in Rome in the recent elections, thinking that implicated London, and why don't I start another war in the Middle East? I think that will not happen. I think Liz Truss is out of office, and that is because these are totally different countries. Now, the name of this program is Mr. Speaker. The question is about Liz Truss today. I am Earth Faith, yet I speak for myself. Signing off.